This video right here is for single mothers that are raising boys. I will warn you right now, this video is going to trigger you, is going to trigger some. If you are able to get through your emotions and your thought process that you are living in right now, this video will actually be beneficial to yourself, and it's going to be very beneficial to your son, okay? This is going to be one of those videos, it's like one of the most vulnerable videos that I'm going to make, but I feel like it needs to be said because women need someone to tell them this. All right, so as your son starts to become to get attracted into women and starts to date women, a lot of men come to this crossroad where they need to decide, do I want to be serious with a woman or do I want to be with multiple partners? Now, most instincts for women is to tell their son to take one woman serious and only stick with that woman. I want to tell you that that is not the correct way to go about it, in my opinion. If your son, especially if your son is attractive, if your son is an athlete, if your son's already attracting a lot of girls, that's not necessarily going to be the best scenario for him. Let me tell you why. And this is from my personal experience, okay? If a man is not ready or a boy is not ready to take a woman serious, all he's going to do is break her heart, okay? The more that he gets to experience being with different partners, if that's what he chooses to do, okay? Your instinct as a woman is going to be triggered because you have been hurt by the father of that child. It's the reason you're not longer with their father, potentially, right? But even if you are with their father, the thing is that you're thinking about it from a woman's perspective, which you should, and you should teach your son to be honest, transparent with those women, and that is the best thing that that person can do, that your son can do, is be honest with that person and say, hey, I'm not ready to be in a commitment. Whatever happens in this situation, I just want to let you know because I don't want to take advantage of your love and your trust. That is the most important thing that you could teach your son to do. Why? Me personally, I have slept with more women than I care to admit. I'm not saying that in a braggadocious way. I'm saying it to give you context because I'm not a guy here telling you to tell your son to do something that I haven't already lived through. What was the benefit of going through those experiences? I think one of the most important lessons for me is what I realized is that the women out there in the world are never going to love me like my mother did. Let me explain. You're giving your son a pure, innocent, nourishing love. We are growing up with that love, and we start to assume that the world and the women out in the world are going to love us the same. And that is not the case. The way you start to learn women's psychology is by dating different women. For example, I used to be in the music industry, and I used to travel all over the country. In my early 20s, I have slept with married women. I have slept with women that were engaged. I have slept with women with literally a ring on their finger and they take it off. It showed me that my illusion of what women were, what I thought they were, because I grew up with a mother that was, I'm sure, not perfect. I'm sure she made her mistakes. But my mom grew up as a very traditional woman that showed my dad a lot of respect, okay? My mom would not wear provocative clothes. My mom did not have male friends. My mom, matter of fact, would not dance with anyone other than my dad. And my mom rarely hugged any males. My mom was very much like respect for my dad, but she always talked about having respect for herself, okay? She never allowed any guys to come into the house unless my dad was there. Like, my mom just showed me this level of respect for her partner that I realized that a lot of women in the world don't have, okay? But the only way that I was able to experience that is by being with all these different women. And I'm not saying that all women are bad, because they're not, right? There's really good women out there. But you start to see that there are women out there that have the same tendencies as males. Like, they could go from partner to partner to partner. They could be with one partner and cheat on them and just go back home and act like nothing happened. Women have the potential to do that as well. Women that are broken, okay? But I would have only learned that through that experience. Now, another experience that I learned. It shows you that when you finally commit to someone, you can finally actually commit because you already have experienced what is out there. You're not necessarily living with this curiosity of what would it be to be with somebody else. For example, if you go to a strip club, most of the men that you see in there are married, in a relationship. I guarantee you more than half of the people in there are not single. A lot of those men have chosen to commit to someone because society said, hey, you need to commit, but they still live with this curiosity and they live with this sin and guilt because they want to continue to be with other people. I no longer feel like I have that need, okay? The last woman that I was ever unfaithful to was more than 10 years ago. Why? Because now when I get with a partner, if that partner does not offer what I need, especially when it comes in the realm of what do you need in the bedroom, how many times, whatever it is, whatever situation, you need to find a partner that's compatible so you never feel like you got to go get it somewhere else, right? And there has to be obviously other chemistry that makes you want to be with that person. But I've also had no problem saying, I'm good with this. This isn't for me anymore. And then I just exit, all right? And then if I exit, then it's like if I'm single, then you're free to do whatever you want, right? But when you're in that relationship, you already kind of have experienced that. So you don't have the curiosity or temptation, in my opinion, to want to go and cheat on your partner, okay? So that's some of those lessons there. I did it for myself. For example, I got the mother of my kids pregnant when she was 18. We were both 18. I was 19 when I had my first child, my daughter, and she was about to turn 19. When I asked the opinion of my mother, which again, I was raised by her, I respected her, and I really valued her opinion as a woman. When she found out that the mother of my kids was pregnant, what did she tell me? She said the right thing to do is marry her. If my son would have came to me, I would have said, son, do you love this woman? Will you be able to commit to this woman? Is this a woman that you see being with the rest of your life? My answer to some of those questions would have been no. And then I would have said, son, do not marry that woman. Because the after effect of if it doesn't work out, the divorce, the child support, all these things that you got to go through, because now, you have to break that commitment. Not to mention now you have it on your record. You've already been married once. If I would have had somebody tell me that, then I wouldn't have followed a woman's perspective. Now, again, you are trying to do the right thing and you are trying to put yourself in the position of how that girl would feel. But with all due respect, you cannot think like a man. You cannot raise a man because you are not a man. You can love a man. You can nourish a man. You are very valuable to a man's life, but only a masculine, alpha, true, stoic man can raise a good man, okay? Please don't get triggered. I am not trying to say that your job is not difficult. I am not trying to say that it's all your fault that you're raising this child. All I'm saying is just like a man cannot raise a woman cannot raise a man. That is all I'm saying, okay? So if your boy chooses to not want to be with different women, there's men out there that as soon as they see a girl, they're like, I'm committed for life. Great for them. That is totally okay. And that is perfect. Okay. They're going to save themselves a lot of problems. Okay. But again, if you have an attractive son and you know that he's gaining all of this attention, in my opinion, I feel like that boy needs to get it out of his system. So when he reaches a certain age, when I started to get to I would say around 28 is when I started to feel like, okay, I can get married now. I'm good with it. I actually enjoy, catch this. I actually enjoy being in a relationship, having the temptation in my face and just saying, no, I'm good. That is my self-respect. That gives me this honor of I keep my word. You're not gonna make me fall into temptation, snake. And you would be surprised. I would be on tour and sometimes I was in relationships. Women would be like, well, your girl's not here. She's not gonna find out. This could be a one-time thing. There's literally women that were like, there'll be no foul. Just go ahead and do it. And some of my boys are in here, they know, like, I just be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. As soon as I go home, I got exactly what I need. And I don't want to live with the guilt. That is the most important thing. I can sense it in men, and I could even sense it in women when they walk around with the guilt because they know what they're doing. If you are sensitive to energy, and some of you are not going to believe in this, but when you are sensitive to people's energy, people walk around with guilt and shame. That man, when he has to go back home after being at the strip club and spending $500 and can't even take his women out to dinner, he has to live with that shame. When that girl is sending that DM while her man is sleeping, she is going to feel that shame. She is going to project that shame. I don't want to live like that. But my past experiences allowed me to get to this level. And I will close with this. Some ladies are going to get triggered, and I would say some ladies that are not healed and don't understand psychology. You're going to say, well, why can my daughter not do the same? I will tell you this. When a man reaches this level of maturity and he's ready to treat your daughter right and he's ready to commit to your daughter, most men are not going to be attracted to a woman that has been very promiscuous in her past. If a woman tells me I've had a hoe face, it is a complete turnoff because that lets me know that so many men have touched that woman. Is it fair? No. Is it nature? Yes. Is it our wired? Is it how we're wired? Yes. And you're gonna say, well, I know men. Well, guess what? Most of those men that you know are not attractive, do not have access to multiple women, or they have been so programmed and so feminized that they're not willing to be honest. For me, I don't care because I'm not trying to get anything from you. I'm just giving you some game so you can help your son, and you're not holding your son back and making him commit to something that he just might not be ready for. This is my personal opinion. If you made it through this video and you were able to get over those emotions and those triggers, I appreciate you sticking through. I hope some of this resonated with you. Whatever resonated with you, drop it in the comments. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. If you want me to make a second part and you have any questions from anything that I mentioned, drop it in the comments and I will make a part 2. I'm only doing this because I want to help young men out there. And I know you are raising a man by yourself and it can't be easy, okay? I know it can't be easy even for the mother of my kids, all right? But we have this situation that we got to work through. So whatever I can do to help somebody out there, or maybe you're a young man right now thinking, what do I do? Society tells me to do one thing, my body and my mind tell me to do another. I hope this video served you, bro, okay? Any questions, anything like that, drop it. I'd appreciate a like. I would appreciate a subscription. Put that notification bell. Obviously, I'm trying to grow this channel and become of value. And the more that people are exposed to this, the more we can help them. Don't forget, you're a chosen one. Peace.